Hey guys, coming at you today with an updated eyebrow tutorial. This is going to be an eyebrow tutorial for a more neutral look. So it's not going to be, my eyebrows aren't going to be very strong, meaning the color isn't going to be very dark. What I'm going to be using is a spoolie or a clean mascara wand, some concealer, that's NYX Concealer. I'm going to also be using an NYX eyebrow pencil in dark brown, as well as, and I'm not showing it here, but as well as a eyeliner brush from Sonia Keshuk to apply my concealer. And I'm going to show you guys that in a second. What I'm going to do is brush out my brow. And there's a brush that I'm going to be using to get it ready for the pencil. And that is my dark brown pencil by NYX. And what I do is I start from the bottom and I basically outline my brow shape. I'm going to outline the brow shape, and I'm doing this with a light hand because I don't want a lot of color because my brow is already naturally thick. So I don't want to make them too thick, but I do want some color. So I'm just actually following the shape of my brow. And I'm going to extend the tail out a little bit further than it naturally does. For the top, I'm going to also outline the shape of the top of my brow, but I'm not going to stop, drop that, oh well. I'm not going to start at the very inner corner. I'm not going to start there. I'm going to actually start a little further down to start the trace, and the reason why I do that is because I don't want, for this look anyway, I don't want my brow to have as much color in the inner corner. I want the color to kind of fade in. And because I have hairs there, I'm going to just brush the color that I already have into my natural hairs there. So I'm not going to be starting from the very inner corner. Because, as I said, I'm going to brush that color into that, and I want a natural fade. So I'm just talking about what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to continue with that process until I'm happy with the color payoff from the pencil. Okay? So the next step that I'll be doing is I'm going to actually brush all of that color that I just put onto my brow. Brush the color into the hairs. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the color that I had where I started. I didn't start so close to the inner part of my eyebrow. And I'm actually taking color from the bottom and brushing it upward to have a natural fade from the inner corner of my brow all the way to the tail of my brow. I want it to show hairs right in the inner part of my brow because I have a lot of hairs there, so I might as well use them. So I'm just showing a more natural fade. Okay? I don't want my brows to be very strong today. I want them I want the color to fade into my brow today. I don't want it to be a very strong brow. All right, so I'm just showing you guys what it looks like with no concealer, just the pencil, and just brushing it into the hairs. Next, I'm going to go ahead and highlight. And this is my NYX concealer in the color of tan. And I'm just going to take a little bit out, put it on the back of my hand so that it can melt and become even more creamy and easier to work with. It will have a more smoother consistency and just easier to apply. So I'm going to be using that to highlight both the top and bottom of my brow. So I'm going to dip the brush into my concealer, starting from the inner corner, and I lift up my brow, and I just trace the shape of my brow. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want my brows to look as if I just had them waxed or arched. So after applying the color, as you can see, I only dipped it once. That's enough. I'm going to go ahead and take my finger and fade it out and blend it away. You don't need a lot of concealer. So I'm going to do the same thing at the top, and I'm actually starting, unlike with the pencil, I'm going to go ahead and start at where my hairs start, at the top, and follow that shape, and I'm going to blend that out. I'm going to take my finger and blend it away. And that kind of helps to also emphasize the shape. You don't have to use a concealer so light on the very top of your brow. You can use something more the color of your skin tone on the top and just use a lighter concealer underneath the brow, but I'm going to use the same concealer at the top and the bottom. Now, as you can see with the concealer, I'm bringing it further over to the inner part of my brow, almost connecting it like a unibrow, which I'm going to actually do that. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want it to be very clean looking. I don't want any hairs to show on like the middle of where my nose is. I don't want any hairs to show. So I'm going to blend that all away. And as you can see, I only dip my brush into the concealer once per section that I'm highlighting. It's enough product on the brush that I can use it instead of. So I'm going to blend, blend, blend. It's always about blending, guys. Always blend that concealer away. Now I'm going to do the same process on the other brow, starting past the actual hairs of my brow, following the shape of my arch brow, blending all that concealer away. And as you can see, I have a fade from the inner part of my brow from light to dark. So it's all about blending, ladies. So that's basically all that I do to my brow, and I continue to blend away, and I follow up my foundation.